Okay, today is the 22nd of May 2012, and I just picked up my exchange puzzle. It was delivered to here in Hong Kong, and it's a great pleasure to be able to get it and play with it. It's really nice to have an idea go from your head, from a thought, to a physical rendering of it. So I'm going to show it to you, but before I do that, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on it. One of the very first puzzles that I ever got was called the Babylon Tower, and when I was a kid, I didn't get a lot of toys, but I did get puzzles. My mom had this thing when I was about 12, 13. I guess she figured I was too old for toys and I should have books instead. That's probably why I do it to my daughter. And our deal was, if I could solve the puzzle, I could have a new one. And that's exactly what I went about doing. So the Babylon Tower is a puzzle that goes from light to dark, and it's got a number of beads in it. Each of these rotates along the center axis. I don't think I've got these lined up right, doesn't matter. Anyway, and then there's a button here, so the purple one I can make it hide, and then I can further mess it up like that. Okay, so I can turn that around. So this is one of my first puzzles, and I've always been partial to beaded puzzles for whatever reason. This one's got that bit on two different sides. Find that one. Okay, so there we go. So we popped it back out. I've always been partial to puzzles with beads or balls. I quite enjoy playing with them. And last year, for my exchange puzzle, thank you, I got it from Pantasy's Hulis, who's the designer of it, and it was a puzzle called Tornado. It had 4 tetrahedron, and you had to apply them to a box, put them in the box. So I didn't want to do that this year. That was a wooden puzzle. I wanted to do something that was more what I like, twisty, but I don't know how to design a twisty puzzle. I'm not that kind of a person. I've got some ideas in my head, but to conceptualize them, to put them down on paper, to make it happen, if you will, is just not my thing. So I went back to my idea of beads, and I went to a puzzle that I received many, many years ago. This one's called a Pioneer Cube. Now, the Pioneer Cube came out in the 1980s. It's just a cube with a number of balls inside, and they are 4 different colors. There's yellow, red, green, and black. And the object of it is actually quite simple. Now, see, mine is really, really faded. The paper is on the outside of these puzzles. This one's gotten wet. It's been sun-faded. It's really hard to see the coloring on it in many places. So the object of this is to line it up. Now I'm going to get one that I can see. Okay, so here's green and red, and as you can see, there's a red ball in the corner. That should be over here. There's a green ball down here, and they should be lined up here. So you're just kind of using a rotational movement, and now I've shifted in a yellow ball into that corner. So there's a hole in here. There's one missing ball, if you will, and by flipping the puzzle around, you see this kind of gets stuck a little bit on occasion, you can move those balls around. And so this one's called the Pioneer Cube, and I don't remember who invented it offhand, but the Pioneer Cube came out in the early 80s. It was actually quite difficult to get a hold of. I probably paid too much for it considering the condition it's in, but it's part of my collection. Wouldn't be complete without one. So this is my exchange puzzle, and this is the prototype. I've just received it today. It was sent to us and here in Hong Kong, and I went and picked it up this afternoon. Now, this is based on the Pioneer Cube. Okay, so, but you'll notice it's a tetrahedron. It's a different shape. Now, why is it this shape? Well, because of this puzzle. This is the anniversary version, I think, 25th anniversary, I'm not sure, of the Meffert's Pyraminx. Now, Uwe is a very good friend of mine, and this is another puzzle that I solved quite early on. It's also one of my favorites. If you ask me, which puzzle do you like playing with most, I guess it would have to be this one. It's easy to solve, it's fun to play with, turns quite nicely, and I just enjoy it. So, it's a good, fun puzzle. It's one I recommend to people. I give this one away to loads of people. People who ask me, why do you play with puzzles, or what's a good puzzle for me to try. I have cartons of these things, and I just hand them out like, to anybody who asks. So, because of that, I went to this. Now, this to me is just the most amazing thing that could actually be done. I had this idea in my head, and to conceptualize it is just, as I said, I'm not that kind of a person. I don't know how to do it. So I went to my friend in Guangzhou, who owns a toy manufacturing company, and I don't know if you can see it. I asked him if he could help me. Let's let me focus in on that. Can we see it through there? No, we can't. It's not going to show up. Grr, as my dog would say. Focus on my cross. Okay, well, anyway, this is just a prototype, so it doesn't matter. Let's see if I can shift it a little bit in the reflection that way so we can see it. Can we see it? Nope, we can see the other bits that are holding it in place. Anyway, right, so this one I think is really cool. On one side it says MF8 over here, and on this side it says Rocks. And it's got both of our names on it because the owner of MF8 is the one that did all the hard work, and Rocks is the one that did the conceptualization. So I brought him my idea, kind of explained it to him with the help of Smaz one day, and I don't know, 6 months later, this is what I get. Now, you'll notice there's a lot of stickers in there. Don't worry about it. As I said, it's a prototype. And the object of it is quite the same. You'll see there's a missing bit here, but this is really cool. You can see nothing happening. Now, I'm just going to shift that. And now you can see that I can move those pieces into there. Now, see, this is why I just adore the owner of MF8. I think he's a brilliant man. I can no longer move those. They're blocked. So what has he done? He's put a dial on the bottom of it, and that dial raises and lowers a peg in the middle that locks the center in. And if that isn't cool, I don't know what is. Okay, so this is the Pionir Pyramid. The idea was by me, Roxanne Wong, and the implementation of it, the design, and the manufacturing was done by MF8. And this video will stay private until after IPP this year, in August in Washington, D.C. And it's my exchange. You can see there's lots of holes. I'm just going to explain a couple things. There's holes inside there. The beads are actual beads. Why? Weight. I've got to ship it on the airplane. I'm not sending it by post. Ease of finding the things and keeping the manufacturing costs down. I worked out an approximate cost for these. I don't know, maybe about $20 US, I think, would be an approximate selling cost to be able to just break even on them. But you know, I don't know, designing a puzzle, making a puzzle, the manufacturing process, the whole thing. People complain about how costly they are. This is the first time I've done this, and yeah, it's a little bit expensive. So I can see why puzzles are now selling for $30, $40 each. Some as high as $70, $80, $100 each. This looks like something very simple. It is, but even buying pre-manufactured beads, it's still not the cheapest puzzle. You still have to sell for around 70, that was a slip, around $20 US in order to just break even. So I'm fairly certain that I'm going to take a loss on this if I were just manufacturing it to manufacture it and sell it. But I'm not. It's, you know, as I said, it's my exchange puzzle. I have quite a few very good friends in China that have, over the years, very generously donated puzzles to my collection, given them to me, along with, you know, their friendship. And a number of the puzzles are just going to be given away. So, you know, it's not the cheapest of endeavors, but I've done it. I've done it once. I'm pretty happy. My idea works. Mr. Falk with his locking plug that turns and releases that locking mechanism there on the top is just simply brilliant. And you know, as you can see, this one does the same thing as the Pioneer Cube. It rotates pieces, around the outside. You can see I'm shifting the colors in the base there. There's a green one, and there's the hole. And I'm just going to shift that down. Okay. This is, as I said, it's the first prototype. It's not sealed up. It's got just a couple of screws on it, and you know, you can pull the base apart there. It's not tight. It was for me to see whether that was my idea, and he's done it just brilliantly. That's exactly the thought that was in my head, and I simply love, seriously love the addition of that locking plug in the center. I'd have never thought of that. And with the Pioneer Cube, one of the frustrations for me has always been that I've solved it, and there's no way to make it remain solved. I mean, I know there's a hole in the corner that a plug goes into, but I think as with 99% of these, the plugs have disappeared since their first production. So there you have it, folks. A Pioneer Cube and a Pioneer Pyramid. Yeah, I hope that it goes down as well at IPP as it has here in Hong Kong. Thanks.